So here, if you can go into this installation folder, okay, we have a folder called Studio.
Can you please share your
Oh,
screen,
sorry,
please?
sorry, sorry. I am not sharing. One second. One second. Okay, so did you able to see my desktop?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Now we can.
Now we are.
Okay. So yes, this is my BW6.x installation. Okay. So if you can go into this installation, okay, we can find a folder called Studio. Under Studio, we have a version 4.0. Under 4.0, we have Eclipse. And under Eclipse, we have this file, the exe file. Okay, TIPCO Business Studio. Okay, this is the one. Okay, it is the one which is replaced with TIPCO Designer. Okay, in 5.x, we have TIPCO Designer to develop the project. In 6.x, okay, we have TIPCO Business Studio to develop the project. Okay, so open it. So I hope you guys are familiar with Eclipse, right? That is for developing Java applications, right, guys?
Yes. Little bit.
Okay, so your TIPCO Business Studio is a customized version of Eclipse, actually. Okay, so which supports development of BW applications along with Java applications. Okay. So in Eclipse, okay, we first create an workspace, okay. So a workspace is going to contain multiple projects, right? So your on similar lines, okay, in TIPCO BusinessWorks 6.x also, we are going to create a workspace, and that workspace is going to contain multiple projects in it. Okay, so I have created a workspace already, and I'm opening it. So meanwhile, after do you have any questions? Have you tried the examples which we have learned on the other day?
Yeah, I tried it, but I got a lot of errors, like 4 or 5 validation errors. The
Okay.
process was looking good, but there were 5 validation errors. So I was not able to figure out what exactly were those errors.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, once we are done with the class, I will show you. I have that process open in my laptop.
Okay. Okay. Because these web services are important in 6.x actually. Okay, web services and the REST services. Okay, so
Okay.
that is the reason why I have started with web services straight away.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm going to explain the same again today. Okay, so that Ram
Okay.
and Ashit can also understand it.
Okay.
So I have already developed a simple web service in 5.x, guys. Okay, so
Okay.
an arithmetic web service, okay, which is going to accept two integers, and it will perform addition, multiplication, and subtraction, and give the response back. Okay, a simple web service. Okay, guys. Okay, so to invoke any web service, okay, we need a concrete visitor, right, guys? So are you familiar with that kind of concept? Okay, to invoke a web service, we need a concrete visitor, right? Ram and Akshay.
Yes, Rahul. Yes.
Okay, so this is service agent, okay, using which we can create a web service in Py.x. Okay, so this is my concrete visitor. Okay, let me save it. So I have arithmetic underscore vw5 visitor. Okay, so let me start it. service. Okay, so quickly create a simple project. So to create a project from Fix.x, okay, we need to go to File, and here we have New and we have Project. Okay, here you can see here we have three different things. Okay, we need to select TIPCO BusinessWorks application. Select the application and next. Okay, so I'm naming it Soap Client. Okay, so because I am invoking a web service, right? I am invoking an external web service. So that is the reason why I'm making it Soap Client. Next, next, and finish. Okay, if you can see here, it is going to create two projects for you. Okay, one is module and one is application. Okay, so module is the one, okay, where we are going to define our process definitions, and this is application. We call it as application. Okay, and it is like your enterprise archive in your 5.x. Okay, using which we can create a ER file. Okay, so for now we are not touching anything in application level. We are only going to change. We are going to add some logic in module. Okay, the project here. Okay, so to invoke the web service, okay, which is already running someday. Okay, to invoke that web service, we need to have that concrete visitor, right? So we have already created that concrete visitor. We have already created that, and let me go and import that. Okay, into your project. Okay, to import any external web services into your project. Okay, and okay, before that, you can see here, immediately after creating the project, okay, you have some certain folders here, the processes folder. Okay, this is where we are going to place our VW processes, process definitions. Okay, and we have another folder, service descriptor. Okay, this is where we are going to create the visitors. Okay, if we are using any visitors in the project. Okay, this is where we are going to place them. And if we have any HTTP connection or JDBC connection or JMS connection, okay, we are going to place them under resources folder. If we are using any schemas, accessories, okay, then we are going to place them here under schemas. And the policies here, okay, if we are going to use any security related stuff like certificates or some other policies, we are going to place them under policies folder. Okay, guys, so this is the default folders. Okay, whenever we create a project, okay, Fix.x is going to create all these folders for you. If you want, you can change the names, but these are the default values. Okay, if you want, you can change the names. Okay, let me go and import the digital here. Okay, so right click on it and go to import and select the service import wizard. Okay, so it will help you to import the digital from your file system or your file system to your project. Okay, so select this option here. So import from a file and next go and give the file location. I have saved it on my desktop and this is my digital automatic underscore BW file. And select it and open it and finish it. Okay, so that it will import that digital into your project. Okay, guys. If you can see, okay, normally in 5.x, okay, we have an activity, a palette called soap. Okay, it has some soap related activities. Okay, using which we can invoke a web service, right? But in Fix.x, we don't have any such palette. Okay, this is your palette library. Okay, if you can see here, we don't have any such palette, soap palette here. We have basic, file, FTL, FTP, general, HTTP, Java, JDBC, JMS, mail, parse, RV, REST and JSON, and TCP and XML activities. Apart from that, we don't have anything related to SOAP. So how to invoke a web service? Okay, so we'll see that. For that, okay, let's see. Let me use a timer activity. And one more thing to remember, okay. So whenever you create a project, okay, it also creates a process definition for you. Okay, a default process definition for you. Okay, so this is your process definition, and the process definition I have added a timer activity. So we know, right, what is a timer in Py.x.
Yes.
So the same functionality applies here as well. Okay, so timer, it is going to create a job at regular interval. If we select run once option, it is going to execute only once. Okay, so I'm going to create a timer. And one more important thing to remember in Fix.x is, you can see here this green symbol and this purple symbol here. Okay, this point, okay, we call it a service, and this thing we can call it as a reference. Okay, whenever we create a web service in Fix.x, okay, then we create service. Okay, and whenever we want to invoke a web service, we create a reference. Okay, guys, so this is a reference, sorry, this is a service and this is a reference. So you need to remember these two things. Actually, they are very important. So whenever we create a web service, okay, we create a service here, this one. Whenever we create we invoke a web service, okay, we are going to use a reference. Okay, okay, guys, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, just remember the terminology. Okay, so I'll show you how to create a service and reference. So after that, go to basic activities. Here we have an activity called invoke. Okay, guys, select this and add it. Okay, so invoke activity is the one, okay, using which we can call a web service. Okay, so we can call a web service using this activity, and even we can call any sub process. Actually, let's say we have a sub process concept, right? So I have a sub process and I would like to invoke that process. Okay, so normally in Py.x we are going to use this general activities, call process activity. Okay, right? So if we want to invoke any sub process, we are going to use this activity. But on similar lines, okay, we have an invoke activity. Okay, so using which we can either call a web service or we can invoke any sub process available in the project. Okay, guys. So for both the
Yes.
things, we have the single activity. Okay, so for now we'll invoke a web service, and at a later point of time we'll see how to invoke a sub process. Okay, okay, so okay, so to join, okay, to join these two activities. Okay, so select this activity, and if immediately after selecting this activity, okay, you can see this symbol here. Okay, so press this button. Okay, click on it and drag and drop to the activity to which you want to connect. Okay, guys, that's here. So select this activity, drag and drop this to this. That's it. Okay,
Yes.
okay, that's how we create a transition in Fix.x. Okay, so if you can see here, I have not yet configured this activity completely. So that is the reason why you are seeing a red symbol here, an into symbol here. Okay, even this left hand side also, this is your project explorer. Okay, so here also you can see that red symbol because it has some problem in it. Okay, the activity is not yet configured correctly. Okay guys, so whereas in your file.x, okay, you just need to press this validate button to see whether there was any validation errors or not, right? So but here you don't need to do any validation kind of thing. Okay, it will automatically display that problem if your project contains any problems. Okay, so it automatically displays it. Okay, you don't need to do any validation kind of thing. It automatically does the validation for you. Okay guys, so after adding the invoke activity, so here we have a select interface. Okay, let me invoke the addition operation. Okay, so here we have a select interface, select an interface plus symbol. Okay, select that. Meanwhile, try to see here. Okay, as of now I don't have any references and I don't have any services here. Okay, so now in invoke activity I am adding an interface. Okay, so select this one. So immediately after selecting this, okay, it will give you the concrete visitor which I have just imported. Okay, so this is the concrete visitor arithmetic operation. Okay, select that and press OK. So immediately after selecting that, okay, you can see a reference creating here, right? So in my visitor I have three operations: addition, subtraction and multiplication. You can see here. Okay, so three operations are available here under reference. Okay, so immediately after adding an interface to invoke activity, okay, it is going to create a reference for you. Okay, you don't need to create anything like that. It automatically creates the reference for you. Okay guys, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, so here I have added the interface, and now here go and select the required operation which you want to invoke. Okay, I want to invoke add. Okay, so in the drop down, okay, this drop down is going to give you all the operations available in the list, and I am selecting add. Okay, and I am selecting add. So you can see here, after selecting this activity, you can see here input and output. Okay, so input is the one where we can map our values. Okay, so I'm mapping something like 20 and 40. Okay, so I'm passing these two values, 20 and 40. Okay, so if you can see here, the red symbol here is gone. Okay, that means the activity was configured properly. Okay, and here we have a general tab. Okay, where we are going to define the interface points and operations. And this is the description, okay, where we can write some description about this particular activity. Okay, so the under advanced tab we can give the timeout. Okay, so forget about conversions, we can come to this point later. And input, okay, this is where we are going to map the elements. Okay, so even in file.x also we have an input tab, okay, under which we are going to map the elements, right? And under output,
Yes.
we have the output of that particular activity. Under fault, okay, this is nothing but your error output. Okay, so we have an error output tab, right, in file.x. A similar tab is fault here. Okay, so if you can see here, I'm mapping the values 20 and 40. Okay, so the red symbol is still there, okay, because of the validation problem in the reference. Okay, so normally when we invoke a web service, okay, so this is SOAP over HTTP, right? We need to have a HTTP transport. Okay, so we need to define that HTTP transport. And we need to define the transport and map the transport to the reference so that it invokes that particular operation. Okay, guys. So that is nothing but your resource. Okay, so go and add a resource. So right click on the resource and go to new, and here if you can see here we have an HTTP client and HTTP connector. Okay, normally in Py.X we have only HTTP connection, right guys? We don't have two shared resources for HTTP, right? In Py.X. Ram, Arshad, Afsar.
What is HTTP client and
Yeah,
HTTP connector?
yeah,
What does mean?
I'll come to that point. But in Py.X we only have a single HTTP connection,
Yes.
right? A single shared resource.
Yes.
But in 6.x, okay, we have an HTTP connector and we have an HTTP client. Okay, whenever we invoke a web service or HTTP service, okay, we'll use HTTP client. Okay, but
Yes.
whenever we create a web service, okay, in that case we are going to use HTTP connectors.
Okay.
Okay, so this is to invoke a service and this is to expose a service. Okay, so for now I am going to use a HTTP client. Okay, guys. So HTTP client. Okay, if you want, you can rename it. Let me rename it. Arithmetic client. Okay, so I'm renaming it. So if you can go and see the HTTP connection, so I have used port 5246. Okay, so go and use. So this is your HTTP client resource. Okay, so this is your default host is localhost. Okay, if you want, you can change it to something else. But for now, my web service is running on my local machine, so I'm keeping it localhost. And the port 5246. So this is my port on which my web service is running. Okay, guys.
Yes.
So if you can see here, this is okay. This is a drop-down list. Okay, if you want to invoke a web service, okay, SOAP over HTTP, you need to select this one. If you want to invoke any REST services, you can select this one. Okay. So for now, I am invoking a SOAP service, SOAP over HTTP. So I am selecting this. So we'll come to REST services later once we're done with SOAP services. Okay.
Yes.
So I am selecting HTTP SOAP. So I have created the shared resource equal to invoke a service. So after creating it, select the reference, okay, and after selecting the reference, here we can see a drop down, okay. In the drop down, by default it is process reference, okay. So when we invoke a process definition, okay, any subprocess, then we'll go for a process reference. But here we are invoking a web service, so let's go and use a binding reference. Okay, so to invoke a external web service, we need to use binding reference. So after selecting the binding reference here, go to binding tab here, okay, and add binding. Okay, you can add the binding here using plus symbol. Add binding. After adding that, okay, if you want to invoke any REST service, you can select REST. If you want to invoke a SOAP service, select SOAP. Okay, so now I'm selecting SOAP binding to invoke a SOAP service. So I'm selecting the SOAP binding. After that, so here you can see HTTP client name. So browse, select the browse button and select the HTTP client shared resource we have just created. Okay, so select that and map it. Okay, so with that the red symbol, okay, is disappeared. That means here also the red symbol is disappeared. That means my project is configured properly. Okay, there was no validation errors as such. Okay, now we are good to test our service. Okay, so to test our service, okay, go to run, and here we have debug configurations. So it will take some time. Okay. So after going to debug configuration, so here we have a plus symbol. Okay, it will add a debugger for you. Just add, select this plus symbol here. Okay, it will add a debugger for you, and will go and rename it with your project name, soap underscore client. Okay, so deselect all, and here, so here you can see all the projects available in your workspace. Okay, so I'll go and select the required project. For me, it is soap underscore client. I'm selecting that. After selecting that, click on apply button. So apply button. Let me go and share. So my web service is already running, and select debug. So it will start your application in testing mode. Yeah, so we have used a timer with run once option, right? So it has created the job for you. Okay, and even if you can see here, a web service got invoked for addition operation, and these are the values, right? We have passed 20 and 40. So we have received 20 and 40, and we are sending back the response as 60. So addition of them, some. Okay, if you can go and see here, so this is the job which got created. Okay, so this is select the timer activity, and by the way, you can see here we don't have any end activity here. Okay, we don't need any end activity in fix.x. Okay guys, and we have only two activities, and select the timer. Okay, so after selecting the timer activity, this is the output of it actually. This is the output of timer activity, and select the add the invoke of activity. Okay, select the invoke, and this is the input of your invoke activity, and this is the output of your invoke activity. Okay, so we are passing 20 and 40, and we are getting the response back 60. Okay, so this is how we are going to invoke a web service, guys. Okay, the first point is to import the visitor, the concrete visitor. And after that, use the invoke activity and configure the invoke activity. So immediately after configuring the invoke activity, okay, it will add a reference for you. Okay, so after that, map the elements in the invoke activity and create a HTTP client shared resource and map that shared resource to your reference. And that's it. Okay, guys, is that clear? How to invoke a web service? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So is that clear? How to invoke a web service from 6.x?
Yes, yes, yes.
So it is a bit different actually. Normally, what we do in 5.x actually. Okay. So in 5.x we can use a SOAP request reply activity, but here we need to do some steps actually. We need to follow some process to invoke a web service. Okay. So let me quickly list down the steps required actually to invoke a web service. First, import the concrete system. So after importing the concrete system, use invoked activity. Okay, and after that, map the system. Invoke activity, and it will add reference to the property. After that, configure invoke activity like mapping. Okay, after that, create the HTTP client shared resource. After that, map the client HTTP client shared resource to reference. Okay, so this is how these are the steps required actually to invoke a web service. Okay, guys. Okay, so this was discussed in our earlier previous class itself. Okay, so it seems Afsar has some questions. Okay, Afsar, I'm making you presenter. Okay, so share your screen. Okay, we'll see what is the problem.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you the process first. Process looks good.
Mhm. Yeah, if you can see Afsar, okay, your WS client, okay, it is fine actually. Okay, the errors were coming from SOAP project and test ABC project, and there was a project called sample palette file order processing. Okay, so this project is fine actually.
Okay.
Your web service project is fine. Okay, so whatever errors are coming, okay, they are from different projects.
Okay.
Okay, so
I can invoke it.
you can
Even
invoke
I
it.
was getting one. I will show you what
Yes.
was.
No, select that. No, no, not that one. Not that one. That arithmetic
This
web
one.
service. Yes. No, no, not that one. Close it.
This one.
Yeah, select the play button. Okay, clear all. Okay, and select that arithmetic web service and load selected. Load selected, the upper one. Yeah, the implementation type is not a valid. Mhm. Okay. Have you modified anything?
No, I did not.
Okay. Close it. Stop it. Go to project tab. Project tab. Select the arithmetic. Yeah, agent. Okay. Go to configuration. Seems you have modified something.
No, I did not.
because it is not showing you the correct things actually. Okay, so let me send it again.
Okay. I have it. I can download it from
Yeah, yeah,
Google Drive
download.
again.
Yeah, yeah, download it again.
Okay. I'll download and try again.
Yeah,
But I'm sure I did not make any changes. But I will try it again tomorrow.
because I'm able to see some validation errors in the project. Okay, so whichever the project I have sent it to you, right? It doesn't have any validation
Yeah.
errors. Let me check in that case. My project. Let me check.
Okay.
So my project looks fine actually. So I'm sharing it again. Okay, anyways. Okay, try to use that.
Okay.
So guys, so let's go slowly, okay, slowly and steadily, okay. So we'll try to learn each and everything, okay. So no need to hurry anything. So is that clear how to invoke that web service? Okay. So Ram and Arshad, any questions?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Rahul. Yes. Yes. Rahul.
So I'll share this project, okay, the BW 5.x project as well as the 6.x project which we have just created, okay. So try to create your own project and test it, okay. So if you have any questions, okay, we'll discuss them tomorrow, okay guys. So we again connect that the same time, okay, 6:30 p.m. my time, sorry, 6:30 a.m. my time, okay, that is like, okay guys. So are you opening it again after? Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, let's see.
just whatever the file you uploaded, I unzipped it and I opened it.
Yeah, now if you can see it is fine actually. Earlier it was like warnings here. Okay, now start it.
Okay.
Yeah, load selected. Okay, still problems.
Now it's different.
Okay, close it.
So it's maybe the HTTP exception, like the
Go,
connection is not
yeah, go to endpoint, endpoint bindings,
ports.
arithmetic operation. there any web service running on that particular port, Arshad, by any chance?
No idea. Shall I change the port number?
Not this one in your BW file.x. Go to Defender. Stop it.
Go away.
Yeah, stop it. Yeah, go to Project tab and expand the shared resources and HTTP connection. So change the port to something like 5248. Yeah, apply it and run it. Try to start it. Activation, plugin agent. Can you just copy this, Control A and Control C, and send it to me? I'll just investigate. Okay, guys, then I'll stop it here for the day. Okay, so I'll share this video as well as the required files so that you can practice. Okay, so we'll again meet tomorrow. Okay, so after you can stay back. Okay, so we'll discuss your project.
Okay.
Okay, so Ram and Arshad. Okay, so you can leave. Okay, so we'll again connect at the same time tomorrow.
Yes, sir. And can you share the this project
Yeah,
also?
yeah. I'll share the videos as well as the project. Okay.
Yeah, and please do share the video on Friday thing also, because I need to go through that also, because I don't know the basic of six, so
Yeah. Sure.
I
I'll do
need
that.
to learn from
Yeah,
basics. So
yeah.
I don't want to miss any class.
I will do that.
So please video from Friday and
And
Sunday.
can you just ping me your mail ID, Arshad?
Yes, sir. Yeah. You can see my mail ID here also in GoToMeetings I have shared today. My mail ID arshad.tipco@gmail.com, so you can share that.
One.
Uh,
Just message it.
I'm typing message.
No problem.
So
I have copied it.
Rahul, please share me as well.
So I have already shared with you, Ram.
I mean, the previous videos also, right?
Yeah. No, actually, that is a common shared folder, actually. Okay, so
Okay,
from
sure.
now on, okay, you will get all the videos in the same folder.
Okay, sure.
Okay, yeah. Okay, guys, then. So after, so you
Yes.
got
Uh,
any updates from them?
yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
After,
Are you able to see my screen?
yeah, I'm able to see.
Okay. See, I had a word with my IT lead,
Uh-huh.
and they confused me actually. Or even they are not sure what they are looking for. I emailed them the question, and he set up a call today.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, we provided you the tracker.
Uh-huh.
In that, we have a functional specific document